Well. Good evening, everyone. Usually I'm saying good afternoon, but right now I'm saying good evening. Good evening to you, our audience on Project 365. I am Portia Wheatley. I am the founder and the president of a nonprofit organization acknowledged as Trophy of Life Incorporated, where we have the opportunity, the privilege, and most of all, the God assignment to render hope, encouragement, and inspiration to you, our audience across the whole wide world. So we're so grateful that you have joined us on tonight. And if you aren't able to join us on tonight, whether you watch it tomorrow, next week, next month, because this broadcast, along with the other 300 broadcasts, it will be uploaded to our YouTube channel. So go to our YouTube channel and subscribe, like, comment, tag, share, all of those things, because we want this message to go across the whole wide world. And we ask little things, but why? Let's ask big things. And that's a big thing, to have this message of hope, encouragement, and inspiration to go across the whole wide world. Well, tonight, we have Mr. Rashaad Tillery. This guy is full of energy, and the words that come out of his mouth cause you to, okay, now what did he say? Let's think about it. But I love his personality, his character, and I'm just elated that he's able to come and share with us. Even though we had a little hiccup earlier today, we didn't let it stop us, because we knew we had to get the message of hope, encouragement, and inspiration out to you today. Some kind of way we were going to make it happen. But Rashaad, thank you so very much for joining us here on this platform. Thank you for accepting our invitation. Tonight, we're going to talk about passion beats pragmatism, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you so much. And you have the whole platform.
Well, thank you. First of all, thank you for having me on your platform. Thank you for giving me a voice. Um, when you asked me to come on here, I had no idea what I was going to talk about. You and my girlfriend kind of tag teamed me and got me into this. Happy to be here. I was going through my phone as I was looking for a profile picture that you asked for, and the subject topic. And I'm going through my phone, and I had a more professional picture of me, if anybody looks on the Facebook page, and I had the picture that's on there now. And I showed it to my girlfriend. I was like, "Hey, look at this picture. Like, wouldn't it be something if I send this and she actually put it up?" I was like, "She's not going to, though, because look at it." So I had some more professional lined up for you, but she was like, "Well, send it anyway." I was like, "Sure." She's going to say no. Cool. Send it to you. You was like, "You like it? I love it." And I was like, "Well, here we go. Let's just roll with the punches."
Let's do this.
Yeah. So that's a little snapshot of my personality in general. I like to keep things light. I like to keep things fun. I'm playful, even though I'm serious and hardworking. I feel that too much of life is just we may take too much of it. Either we approach it too seriously, even though what else you got other than life, or we approach it in a way where we don't appreciate the finer details in life. As I was looking through my phone for hopefully some quotes or topics, every so often I'll write something down in my notes section of the phone. And as I'm going through there, hoping that something will jump out at me, one of my sticky notes in my phone just had passion beats pragmatism. And I'm looking at that and I'm like, I have no idea what I was thinking at that moment. I don't know what it meant. I don't know what context it fell into, but okay, it's something versus everything else. So let's give that to her, and hopefully, God, you'll give me something. I looked up the definition of passion and pragmatism, and the definition for passion is a strong feeling or emotion, a desire. And then the definition for pragmatism is dealing with things sensibly, realistically, in a way that is based on practice rather than theories or emotion. And that actually kind of stood out to me, and I was like, okay, um, I'm 34, going on 35 next month. I'm single. I have a good government job. um, I have different types of savings. I have a wonderful girlfriend. Um, I have my health, even though I caught COVID in April of this year. My life is pretty good, but I did not think this would be my life at 34, because you're told to do a certain thing in steps and procedures, because and I get that. The human mind is, hey, the straightest path between 2 points is a straight line. But as you live life, and hopefully God will give me some more life to live, and as you've lived, and I'm sure the rest of your viewers have lived, straight line is not how it's going to come about. I thought I would have children already, at least two. I thought I would have been married at 25. I thought I would have had my own house. All the stuff, the symbols and status things that say you're an adult now. Here you go. I never would have foresaw myself being a not a victim, but falling into the recession not once but twice, where I got fired from not fired / laid off from two of my jobs in the past. Whoever could have predicted COVID? So anybody who's still with us today, give yourself an applause, because we all survived that. Nobody saw that coming, and I'm sure that flipped around a lot of people's worlds in reality. And I've tried to approach life with a sense of enthusiasm and excitement, because the truth is, and sometimes it gets me down, but other times I feel okay with it. I still don't know what I want to do with my life, and I'm 34. God has blessed me, because the last 5 years I've been working with city government, and that was the first time in my life that I've been around other young Black professionals. Before that, I worked in an accounting firm. Not enough of us there. And then before that, I worked at Boston Market, a little stint at Uno's, a little stint at AMC. Jobs, but not a career per se, just something to get a paycheck every 2 weeks. So coming to city government, which wasn't even my plan. I was jobless before I started working for the city. For 7 years, I was working at an accounting firm, and then I became a supervisor in the 7th year. And then they were just cutting staff like that, and they were merging with another company. So they had two options. There was me from their company, another guy from the same company who was older. So they're like, hey, we can keep the young guy on. He's good. He knows what he does. Or we can keep this older guy, but we're going to have to pay this young guy at a higher rate just because he has the knowledge and experience. So let's cut our losses. So I was out of work for a year and a half. And I that was probably the first time that I went through depression, because as a man, we tie our identities to certain things: a strong body, being able to provide, a job. So while I had my body in my youth, I didn't have anything to provide. I had my savings, but that was the countdown clock on that was going down. I didn't have a job, even though I didn't have a family to provide for. I was living with my mother and my sisters and helping them out financially. So couldn't do this anymore. And I was making good money, Sister Portia. I was making ridiculously good money. So you realize in your 20s, and then that's gone. It's like, well, what do we do now? And that was probably my first time I came through a bout of depression. And we started coming to Kingdom Worship Center, Columbia, every Sunday, 8:30. Bring your friends, bring your family. And I was a bit of a wounded bird that needed to be healed. So Kingdom Worship was a great place for me to heal in that year and a half. My uncle, he came through, said, hey, Rashaad, I know somebody in city government, they can give you an interview, try it out. And I'm like, yeah, I'll try it out. I would love a paycheck again every 2 weeks. Of course, I'm going to try that out. So did the interview. The woman at the time, I always put her in my prayers because she was a blessing to me. She was like, Rashaad, you're only going to be able to work this job a year because we're going through administration change, and you might only be here a year, and then who knows after that. I'm like, cool. All I need to be here is a year to get all my finances together, and then I'll figure something out. Administration came and went, new administration came in. The next person that God brought in my life was a blessing, Kim. Don't know if you're watching, Kim. You're probably not. You've never been a tech person. But she came, found me in the kitchen one day. Was like, hey, Rashaad, you want to be my admin? And I was like, I've never been an admin, Kim. But if you're willing to pay me, cool. Because I was still in the process of, I don't know anything about government. I'm not a government person. I don't know about politics. I don't care about politics. Amazing what time will do to you now. And that just started an acceleration of meeting people and growth that I never would have imagined myself experiencing or even coming across if I was trying to plan it myself, because everybody knows the template. Do good in school, go to college, get out of college, get a good job, find a spouse, have kids, raise those kids, retire, die. As morbid as that sound, that's usually what is placed upon us as the golden, ticket, the medal, the aspiration for life. And rarely are you ever told to find your passion. Or if you're told to find your passion, you're told to find your passion in a way that you can capitalize on it. Not so much that it brings you joy, so much as you can make money off it. Well and good, but at the same time, not a straight line. And are you going to enjoy that journey? I've met, an amazing woman that I love, my girlfriend, planning for more than that. Great friendships. Duan, if you're watching, shout outs to you. I never would have saw myself in this place because I didn't do a traditional or what is told as, the path. I am from an expansive family, a woman-dominated family. While I have had male role models in my life, a very active father, active stepfather, very supportive uncles. The women have been the more dominant force in my life. And I say that to lead up to, it has given me a unique aspect of self-examination. There's a joke I tell, and you've been around me. I like to joke about everything and anything. That as women get older, they're going to outlive us because they're taking care of your hair, your nails, your makeup. These are self-care things, whether you realize it or not. Well, men, they wake up one day and act like they're surprised, like, who made me old? Who took away my body? It's like, bro, you got older. You did the maintenance you did on your house and your car. Maybe you should have turned that on yourself. Dismissing that. So I've picked up some of those mannerisms. And growing up, there were a lot of, the manly men, strong back and heavy hands and sports and blah, 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 blah. And I was more of the emotive side and more playful. I already know some of the people looked at my picture and was like, is he playing on the other side of the street? No, my girlfriend and many women past will tell you, no, I love women. If you play on the other side of the street, I'm perfectly okay with that. Allied to the LGBT, shout out to you. But it gave me a unique vision into my manhood. That it's more of a building block set than a rigid, solid thing. The manhood of a 34-year-old Rashaad versus that of a 25-year-old versus that of an 18-year-old are three different Rashaads, three different Rashaad's passionate about something else, three different Rashaad's trying to find out life in their own way as they're building upon it. As I talk to my nephew and other young men, I try to share that wisdom with them, not in a fact of this is what I've lived through and this and to imply it on them like, hey, here's my experiences, do with it as you may. But I know that the temperamentalness of growing up as a male, as a Black male in America, you're told to do certain things, not so much to inhibit you, because more or less, most people want the best for you. So they're thinking, do these steps, do these static things, so hopefully the best will come out of you. As we both know, that may not always happen. There have been people who have had the worst guardians, parents, whatever, have grown up into amazing people. There are people, parents and guardians who have put everything into their children and they've turned out the complete opposite way. And you're like, how did that happen? I poured everything into you. And it's just the trajectory of your life, depending on how you react to it, it will bring about certain things inside of you. And it's all how you respond to it. A lot of life is cause and reflect. I joke about the Bible all the time. I believe the word, love the word, tried and true Christian, but there's some things that are just funny about it. You can read Exodus and you see people who have lived 40 years in the desert and you can read it in a few minutes. I'm 34. And when you think about it, it's like, wow, that's 40 years in the desert. What does that do to you? How do you react to that? And maybe because we have the hindsight of seeing something afterwards, woo, praise God and everything. We don't see the humanity in those smaller moments. That's like, oh, no, these were humans in there and they're going through the same things that I'm going through. I'm only focusing on their beginning and endings. And, I see the beginning, like, yeah. And I see the end, I'm like, yeah. And we forget that middle part that just went all kinds of ways, which is, and then we look at ourselves and we approach God and like, God, why is everything not working out? Or why isn't it going this fast? And haven't I prayed and haven't I fasted and haven't I tithed and haven't I come to Sundays and haven't I? And it's, haven't I done all of this? Haven't I followed this path that not so much you told me to, but the people of God, the women of God have filtered what you said in their, limited view of follow these steps and everything will work out. Well, yes, you follow the steps and you hit the pinpoints, and yes, life will work out, but that doesn't mean it's going to curve or you're going to take detours. Some of the best parts of your life, when you look back on it after you've come through something, you'll see what's in those detours and curves when you either learned something about yourself, learned something about the people around you, realize that there was more to you, realize there was some stuff that you needed to get rid of yourself. And it's that self-examination that, you have to look back on yourself every so often. It's great to look at the blessing and get excited about that. And, we all want that part of it. But also in those smaller, longer moments, when you look back at it, you got to ask for some self-examination, ask God for insight, or, just quiet yourself down and look at those moments and be like, this is a process that I'm going through. I don't like the process because, let's be honest, the process is never fun. The beginning is cool. The aftermath is fabulous. Going through hell sucks. Once you're after hell, I'm sorry, I forgot this YouTube, so I don't want the algorithm to get us. But once you're after it, it's great. You look back on it, you dance, you praise, cool. The in-between moments are the parts where you fixate on the negative aspects. And you may fall into the trap of getting stuck in that moment when that's the beauty of it. It's just a moment, and all we have are just a collection of moments leading to something great. Um, there was a moment we had went to a church while I was jobless, and I remember we were sitting in the church, and not kingdom, not church people, because I don't want everybody to speculate. And there was a man on stage, and he was giving his testimony, and he was talking about how he was jobless too. I perked up because I was like, cool, we're brothers, we're in this. I can relate to that. And he was like, talking the same thing like how I was talking, how as a man, you tie it into work, you tie it into these things that you can do. And then, he got into a state of depression, and he had thought about, and I was following him the whole way through until we got to one point where he's like, I had thought about taking my life. And I was like, whoa, brother, that's where we part ways. I love life for all the ups and downs. And while I was jobless, and even now, and as far back as I can remember, and hopefully as I go forward, I love life for all its intent purpose. I'm that guy that wants to know what happens next. I'm that baby that won't go to sleep because I want to know that what everybody else in the house is doing. Now, once everybody goes to sleep, yeah, then I'll go to sleep. I want to know it's all over. So, good or bad, I want to know what happens next because it's a roller coaster. After every bad thing that's happened, something good has happened to follow it, and vice versa. So it's like, no, let's keep this train going because I don't know how much of this existence I have, left. And I like to think that last year showed everybody how valuable life was, how to reframe, because you saw everything from older people retiring, because a lot of them were trying to get, stay on a lot of another 5 years and not 10 years, because they try to lock in that retirement account for what amounted to maybe another $20 or $40. And I don't want to get into anybody's pocket, but they looked around and was like, you know what? I'm going to live a life. That extra $20, $40, not worth it. You saw another group of people who, when forced to go home by their jobs, realized that all they did during the course of the day was go to work, go shopping, come home, and messed up some of them because they realized, oh my God, is this all my life has been to this point? You saw other people who have fixated so much into their job that when they lost their income, they had to re-examine of, I put too much into this job. I made it, a pseudo god and also my source of only income. Where else am I going to get income? And you also saw an explosion of creativity where comes the passion at, because we were all taught, get a job, go to college, do all the proper things to get life. Last year forced people to re-examine themselves in a way that maybe they would have never done if given the time on their own time. It showed people that no, you have more to life. It made some people slow down. It made some people realize they had gifts and talents that, they would have never tapped into if never given the opportunity. It made some people realize just the basic situation of their life, whether it was a job or relationships. It brought to view a truth that maybe a lot of us did not want to look at when we had to face that mirror. And for good or for ill, I want to think that after the fact, we're going to look back at this with a sense of sorrow, but with also with a sense of, some things did come out of that. Some great things did profit me and others. I don't know how long you've been doing this platform, but I like to think that this, in a way, is part of it. Probably most of the speakers that you've had come on have done that. When you invited me to come help you at the festival, a lot of people, and I was just jumping, grabbing anybody can. Hey, sign up, sign up, sign up. You can say something. Hey, sign up. You can say something. A lot of them had testimonies and stories. And it was a little coaching to get them to talk into it. A lot of them were like, I don't have anything. I was like, no, you've lived a life. You've experienced some stuff. What story do you have to tell? It might help somebody. You never know. Same here to you and my girlfriend talked me into this. I was like, I don't know. I don't know what I want to say. I don't know if I have anything for anybody here. Cool, we'll figure it out. it's it's never too late to live whatever passion you have in you. And if you don't know what passion you have in you, just try things. Be open up to new things. Be open up to going to a school or to a I don't know, like a paint and sip night. Um, we live in a world that is more easily accessible than it's ever been ever. You can connect with people. You can see viewpoints that you've never would have thought otherwise. Um, there's just so many experiences now, thanks to technology, that you can now reach all the corners of the earth, and also figure out yourself along the way. It's a great day to live in. I know everybody wants to look at the doom and gloom of it, from politics to COVID to the environment, and yes, all of that's important. Yes, all of that's concerning. Yes, we need to come together and handle all of those things. Um, but we're not the first generation to think that the world's going to end in a week's time. so
You're right.
keep on living life
Yes.
until the clock actually runs out. When it's going to run out eventually, let tomorrow take care of itself. It'll figure itself out. But just keep going. There's so much to live for. Whatever moment you're in right now, for good or bad, it's just a moment. Keep going forward. I promise you. I don't know. I have no guarantee for, but I promise you there is something better around the corner if you can just keep going a little bit longer. The race isn't about you finishing it, it's an endurance race. That's what life is. It's an endurance. If you can just keep going the stamina, then you'll be okay. I think back to the scripture in the Bible, um, where it's a storm, everybody's on the boat. Jesus goes out there, starts walking on the water. You have his followers walking on, and the verse says that he starts walking before he falls through. And as believers, we've come to treat faith as a light switch. It's either you have it or you don't. When it's more of an endurance thing, he started walking before he fell down. So it was his mind going between this is and this isn't, and he let he had this is for a certain amount of time until it ran out, and then it went this isn't, and then that's when the faith dropped. Um, Faith is like a muscle, like most everything, an intangible muscle, but a spiritual muscle nonetheless, that you have to develop over time. um and 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 if you do run out of it, that doesn't mean that's the end of it, that you can't refill it. It'll refill, and you don't beat yourself up over, I couldn't do this thing, I couldn't last. Cool. Maybe this was the duration of this particular moment, or whatever goal you were trying to go for. Failure is not horrible. We treat failure as a horrible thing. What most people won't learn until they're older and after they failed a couple of hundred dozen times is failure is a much better teacher than success.
True.
Most failure in life will teach you far more than success. Most of your enemies and adversaries will teach you far more about yourself and life than most friends and allies. The conflict will show you who you are and what you're capable of. And while nobody wants conflict, nobody wants to be like, oh man, I can't wait to get into a fight today. Don't be so quick to run from it, because as believers, I'll speak from that standpoint first of all. As believers, God has equipped us. Don't go out there looking for a fight. Please don't go out there looking for a fight, physical or spiritual. But if it's come your way, you can handle this. For those non-believers watching, you're strong enough to handle this as well. You've come this far,
Yes.
you've lived a life. I'm sure you can handle a couple more blows and come out the better for it. Um, I have no idea where I'm going after
And
this.
you're saying, spit it out. We're gonna look. As a matter of fact, we get ready to bring you in. So give us some conclusion to that. Passion beats pragmatism.
um, live your life. Live your life.
Yeah.
Unafraid, unashamed. Mistakes are going to happen. That's part of life. Failures are going to happen. That's part of life. Success and glory and victory are also part of life. It is the delicate balance that goes back and forth, and stick with it, and you're going to end up on the better side of it. Don't beat yourself up. You've got this. You're
You
not the
got
first,
this.
you're not the last. You've got it.
Absolutely. That is good. We've got it. And what we need to fight with is already within us. We don't always have to look for something externally. It's internal. And if we pull on the authority that we have, pull on the strength, pull on what we've been taught, it would happen. You, like you said, you've got this. And I love the different levels of life that you've entered into, and you came in, but you went back out another way. Each level of life, as you get older, it is different, of course, and you learn from each level of life. Then when you said you speak with your uncle, you speak with your nephew, you have conversation with them, more specifically regarding your nephew, we have to teach the younger generation about life. And I think that's why a lot of them get frustrated with life, because the older generation have not taught them how to deal or channel their lives to deal with life.
Right.
So thank you so much. It was a few other, I wrote down, I'm kind of like Takira. I wrote down a few notes. I just said, let me say, I like the way you said it's the way we approach life. I mean, some of the things that may frustrate one person may be just a passing whatever to someone else, but it's all in what we do with that in between part, from the time we're born to the time we pass away. But that in between piece, and the way we look at situations that come to hit us below the belt, that come to knock the wind out of us, that come to destroy us literally. But it's the way we look at it and what we pull or learn from it. Otherwise, we're going to go through that lesson again, but we don't want to do that. But I
Never.
thank you. I know for some things, like ever. Last but not least, okay, which way did I turn my paper? Let's see. Learn about you. I like that part. You have to really learn about yourself. Learn about yourself. The different ways in which people have taught you about life. And then there comes a time when, like, in a situation or I don't like to even call them tests, but in situations of life, it's like, okay, I remember being taught this.
Right.
Let me see how I am going to work with this. But all at the same time, I thank you for sharing. Passion beats pragmatism. Think about that. Audience, think about that. It is amazing what we can glean from the messages that are brought to us on this platform. I appreciate you, Rashaad. Thank you again.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be a part of here. Everybody out there, tell your friends, tell your stranger, tell your families, tell your enemies. Just tell everybody. Just write to your congressman. Just what happened. Just spread it around. See what happens.
Yeah, they have a message for the world. I don't care if you were born. Wait a minute. Let me get my hair right. Wait a minute. I don't care if you were born out of wedlock or you were born to someone that isn't the what we call the proper setting.
Right.
There's still something in your life that you can share. You can share with someone some type of hope, encouragement, and inspiration. I tell you that the more I say that, the more I feel it, because many people feel less than because they're not like someone else. No, no, it's not like that. Everybody is somebody. And you mean something to God, and you mean something to family. And if it's not your biological family, it could be friends, it could be a co-worker, but it's the way you look at life, it's the way you look at it. Well, thanks again. I do appreciate you. And I thank you for giving a shout out to our church, Kingdom Worship Center in Columbia. There's one in Columbia and there's one in Towson, Kingdom Worship Center. Google it and you'll find out more information. Well, we're going to leave you for tonight, but just know that we will be back tomorrow at our regular time, 1 p.m. with a great guest, sharing more hope, encouragement, and inspiration. Until then, God bless you and be safe. Bye-bye, Rashaad.
Later.